Sir, good morning.
Morning.
Welcome to Comto Studio 71. Please introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are.
William Johnson. I'm the director of the Baltimore City Department of Transportation. We provide mobility, infrastructure development, kind of a series of activities here in Baltimore City, including Charm City Circulator, a water taxi, road and bridge construction and development, street lighting, etc.
How long you been in the job?
2 years today.
Today. Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
to you.
thank you.
Yeah. Before we get deep into the interview, let's talk very quickly about the recent incident here in Baltimore with Mondawmin Mall and that. How did that affect you, and what was your role in handling that?
Well, obviously, the situation here in Baltimore is very serious, and has evolved from years and years and years of past practices where some sections of the city seem to feel like they were kind of forgotten, and is a perception that there's a lack of opportunity, a lack of jobs, a lack of investment, and a lack of focus, and even more importantly, just nobody really listening to and paying attention to what the issues are in those communities. So with the uprising, the Department of Transportation went into a full emergency response mode. We operate the Emergency Operations Center for the city.
For the city?
For the city. So we hosted the EOC. Obviously, we have ESF Function 1, which is transportation. We're involved in coordinating with police and fire to block streets, clear streets. We're involved in trying to notify the public in terms of the hot zones or areas to try to avoid.
So situation awareness, intelligence, the whole thing
Exactly.
culminated in the EOC?
Right.
Good. Any National Guard involved in that at all?
National Guard was involved. We had police agencies from 15, 16 jurisdictions from around the state who were involved, in addition to all of the Baltimore City Police and Fire.
How do you rate your success? A plus, B minus?
Well, I think overall, I would say that I would give us about an A minus. And the reason I say an A minus is because some of our communications and the speed in which we were able to communicate and get the word out to the public, I think could have been better, and it needs to get better because we had a dangerous situation that evolved, and there were people who were still driving their cars into those danger zones. So we need to improve our effectiveness in getting the word out to people whenever there's an emergency.
So I'm sure that you captured some lessons learned and things we need to do.
Right, we'll be doing a hot wash with all of the agencies involved. We had the Department of Public Works, Fire, Police, Health.
All the first responders.
All of the first responders, as well as all of the supporting agencies coordinating. So we'll do a hot wash, and it's an opportunity to learn and to improve.
I'm going to switch gears on you and talk to you about your year as Comto's Executive of the Year. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we met in Atlanta last year, and I was so impressed by who you are as a young professional. I know that you went to the University of Mississippi. Is that correct?
Right. Played football down there.
Where'd you play?
I was an outside linebacker. That was about 40 pounds ago, though.
Yeah, you guys, and you also went to grad school in Missouri.
Yeah. The University of Missouri at Rolla, which is a small engineering school. I think you can get an English degree and a computer science degree. Other than that, it's all engineering.
And all the cheeseburgers you can
Yeah,
afford.
there you go.
The year as Executive of the Year. Talk to me about it. What have you done since Atlanta?
Well, since Atlanta, I really, first of all, was very honored to receive the award and the recognition. But we kind of came back and took a look at our organization and made sure that we were doing everything that we could to take advantage of opportunities to promote as much diversity at the senior level. I think in my senior staff, my direct reports, there must be 4 women who are pretty much running things.
I understand.
If you know what I mean.
I understand.
There are women, there are minorities, there are people who have, alternative lifestyles. I mean, we have a number of different groups who are represented there. and they all, the cool thing is they all do very, very good work. My first criteria is that I like to have smart people around.
That helps you, right?
That helps a lot.
Makes your day shorter,
And
right?
it's even better if they work hard.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of really smart, hard-working people who are young, up-and-coming professionals, and they're just doing a great job for us.
Your time with Comto, you were our executive of the year last year. Are you active in the Maryland chapter? Are you?
Yes, we're active in the Maryland chapter, and every day we kind of look at what the mission should be, and we try to move a little closer to achieving that mission. We're focused right now on, for the first time in Baltimore City, doing some of our reconstruction contracts that are going to be targeted towards minority and women-owned businesses, i.e., these won't be opportunities for them to come in and get a percentage, but these will be contracts where they can come in as primes and actually have a 3 or 4 year, $2, $3, $4 million contract that's going to give them steady work, a nice base to operate from, and really be able to grow and expand their business.
Is that part of an overall effort for the state of Maryland or just Baltimore City?
It's an effort that started with our group in Baltimore City.
Under your leadership?
Absolutely.
That's well done. Are you going to be able to share that story and strategy at the conference this summer?
Sure. I'd be happy to share it. I think it's a good practice. It's something that hadn't been done here before. But I always say just because something hasn't been done doesn't mean it's not a good idea.
It's time to be bold and be strong, right?
That's leadership.
One of the things that I know that we're going to agree on today is that since you were executive of the year and you've done so much in the year, I'd really like to be able to share that with the national audience. So part of this interview, I'd like to have you expand a little more on what you just said, and then I want to share that with the entire Comto network. So once again, you're going to do infrastructure inside the city.
Right. We're looking at opportunities where we have some infrastructure needs, and we're going to hire contractors. We hire contractors to do work all the time. But there's a specialty area where we have flexibility with our funding, and we're taking that opportunity to target minority and women-owned businesses to come in and perform that work. Now, they have to be qualified, et cetera.
Is that a concern that from the workforce development pool, do you have the pool of talent?
Well, what we've done is we've looked at how we expand that pool. So as opposed to just looking at companies in Baltimore City, we're looking at more of a regional approach.
How far is the region? Pennsylvania, Delaware?
It could be the entire nation.
It could be the entire Comto family.
In the entire Comto family. If a company is out there and they have the qualifications, they're welcome to come in and bid on it. And the reason that we decided to do this is because I just got tired of seeing minority and women-owned businesses coming in and fighting over 10 or 15% of these huge contracts.
Over a smaller pie.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So now they can have the entire pie.
Where's the passion coming from? Is that just who you are? Talk to me about
Well, I grew up very poor, and I looked for every opportunity that I could get. And in this world, I realized that oftentimes I have to work harder. I have to be smarter. I have to do a lot of things at a different level in order to achieve the same goal as someone who may not be a minority in this industry. And so I have a real passion for looking at opportunities where I see people that have those characteristics, who have that desire, who are looking for those opportunities. And if I am blessed to be in a position to afford them those opportunities, I want to do everything that I can.
So timing is everything for you, right?
Timing is
right
everything.
place, right time, right man.
Absolutely.
One of the things I wanted to share with you is that thoughts about Adrienne Barnes, our community chair. Talk to me about how strong Adrienne is.
Adrienne is a workhorse. I mean, she's great. She is one of what I call one of my go-to people in our organization. We're very happy to have her be a part of Comto and to be part of Baltimore City DOT.
So she's doing well, right?
She's doing great.
So there's no chance we're going to lose Adrienne in the next year or so?
Well, No, there's no chance. I don't see her quitting. it.
Let's go back then to your passion, your funding sources. Is that federal highways? Is it?
Well,
combination?
these are more local funds. Some of our funds come from an enterprise fund that we have for a certain type of utility that we use, and so we don't have to operate under the guidelines of some of the federally regulated dollars that come in. So we have a lot more flexibility.
What was your impression of the conference in Atlanta last year? Where was your heart? And
Oh, the conference in Atlanta was it was great. It was very impressive. Uh, it was my first time
Yeah, no,
attending
it's okay.
Comto, and I was very impressed. And I'm looking forward to both.
What do you want to see in Boston? More of the same, or talk to me? What do you expect
Well,
to see?
I would like to see the membership grow. I would like to see the pool of attendees grow, and the diversity continue to grow and expand there.
How can you help us do that?
Well, one thing that I'm doing is, within my own organization, we have about 50 members of Comto.
Within your own organization?
Within our organization, there are about 50 active members. And so I take that opportunity, every opportunity that I get, to encourage minorities in transportation to become members, to provide information on the benefits, the networking opportunities, et cetera, that they would receive from Comto, and the good things that Comto stands for.
Who did you connect with in Atlanta last year that kind of resonates with you now?
Well, my big connection was with Adrienne Barnes.
Wow.
She's a member of our staff. She was an active member of the committee on last year, and she remains very active in Comto this year.
And so we've got you coming to Boston to share your story and your strategies
Yeah.
with and among the other members.
Yes, I'm hopeful that I can make it to Boston this year. I'm looking forward to it, and look forward to sharing. And
Well, if you can't make the entire conference, just work with the national staff. I got to have you on station to be with us some of the time, because you've got a key story to tell. Part of this, what we're doing today, is a series of interviews that we do with senior leaders.
Mhm.
We've done them from California to New York to Atlanta, and I'm glad that you could join us in the studio. We're not finished yet. I got a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
This is a long drive just to spend time with senior leaders. Let's talk to me about leadership and your passion for being a leader. This is the color of leadership, our Comto's history. I'm going to share this with you. But in there, you'll see Helen Dale and Dr. Dale and references to Carmen Turner. When those names come up, what comes to your mind?
Well, I like to think of leadership as a willingness to take bold action when it's appropriate. Leaders aren't always looking to see just what everyone else is doing and saying, well, that's what we're going to do. They're looking to do the right thing, and so I push my staff and I push myself to do what's best for us and to do the right thing in every opportunity that we have. So the thing that we were talking about earlier about the contracting
Right.
is something that I was told we couldn't do because it's never been done. And the response was, just because it's never been done, it doesn't mean that it's not the right thing to do.
Right, sure.
And so we pushed until we were able to get it done. And that's what I look for in leaders. If our leadership only waited for someone else to do something first, we'd be a world full of followers.
I'm going to put you on the spot. In Boston, we're going to ask you to do the Green Jacket exchange with this year's executive year. In doing so, what would be your words of wisdom to the person who replaces you? What advice would you give them?
Well, I would advise them to, number one, recognize what it means to receive this honor. It's a leadership position in and of itself, and to try to set an example for the next person that's going to be coming in. And over the years, it will create a pool or an environment of leadership around leadership. That's one thing, and the other thing that I would advise them to do is to follow their passion. If the person that's going to receive this award should have a passion for doing good things and doing the right thing. And that's really helped me to appreciate the role that I've played over the past year.
Okay, a couple more minutes, and I'm going to talk to you about some of your international travels. Any time in Europe or in Africa at all?
Yes, I've traveled Europe and Africa. Africa is probably my favorite continent.
Just this morning, when you came in, you got a chance to speak with Rahid and some of the other Comto members. Were you fascinated by his story about who he is? And
Yes. When he told me that he grew up in Africa, I was curious about where because
so because of the Comto connection, and I use that word as a tagline, you're now able to connect with Rahid and his firm, and perhaps even help you do that thing in the inner city with some of the stuff that he's doing. Does that make sense to you?
yes, it does. It does. I'm looking forward to following up with more information about some of his travels and his experience, as well as how we might be able to work together on some things.
Well, the interview is about over, but let me do the official thank you from our board chair Bob Prince and our scholarship committee and our industry awards committee for what you've done for the last year. It's been a good year for us. It's been a tough year because we're trying to move Comto forward. So I'm going to put you on the spot on camera, sir. Today is Friday, the 21st of May, 2015. Need to see you in Boston, and even after you leave the position of executive of the year, need to have you on the team going forward.
You can count on me.
Okay, so got it. Roger copy.
Roger, copy. You got it. All right. Thank you.